It's a crazy joint.
Just like Uniblab, robotic kicking flab, or flavor bit of batter, chitter chatter, matter than the Mad Hatter. I bet you my shit come by fatter. I got the data
To turn your body into antimatter. Sizzling with the eggs and grits between. You're getting inside of the ozone stomach with the eggs and grits between. Nah, I mean. What's up with the flavor in your ear? Welcome to the Ozone Podcast. I am your host, Omar Miller. I'm here with a special guest who's here with me every week. My brother, the icons, Terry Miller.
You know what I'm saying, son?
Word up, money. Yo, life is good right now.
Yeah, B.
Imagine that. This is the East Coast edition, son, even though we're still in L.A. Tell you something, I just got back from overseas, and everybody in L.A. is complaining about how cold it is, and I tell you, it feels like a heat wave. I promise you. I haven't felt
Trust me on this one.
It's going to be huge. It's big league. It's 70 degrees, and I feel like it's 700 degrees. It's
not 70 outside.
Well, it was when I got here yesterday.
Oh yeah, I think we rocking the 60 with a coastal eddy.
It's still good 30, 40 degrees hotter than anywhere else, and I love it. And you can sign me up. I'll pay the high rent. And you know who else is going to have to pay some high rent?
Who?
Is the Golden State Warriors.
Why is that?
Because young Klay Thompson showed why he's the best player on that team.
You mean that 60-point
60-point effort in 29 minutes. Let's speak on that.
That's nuts.
That's nuts. In the word of Dr. Sal.
He dropped some bombs last night. Boy.
Are you kidding me? You talk about the wet ball?
They lost it on the bench.
Oh, they lost it. This is why that organization is dead right, though, is because there was no hate in any of that.
Right.
Them boys were pumped up. He put on a clinic out there. He could have scored 100 last night.
You think?
I think so. 29 minutes?
He goes on streaks like that all the time.
Thing is what the other thing you'd realize is that if he was the man, like on any other team, he could probably average 30 a night.
No question.
Yeah.
He plays great D, too.
This is why I think he's the best player on the team. Last year and this year. Ever since Draymond went on a kick fest, he decided to join the judo karate team. I took him out of the top slot.
Nuts are us.
He's nuts. Yeah, so I agree, man. I don't know why he goes that route, but he can go that route.
Obviously, he can.
And then has the nerve to complain about the league standards.
Right?
Stop kicking people in the balls, Dre. What's happening, man?
And the face.
And all over.
Wow.
Anywho, but no, this kid Klay Thompson, boy, oh boy. I mean, the Thompson family, them boys know how to play sports.
Solid. Father did a great job.
He did. He gave you great work. Whatever he was doing at the house was right.
Because his son can play baseball.
Oh my goodness, Trace all he needs is a day-to-day position.
Just needs to be able to play.
That's it, because he could play. Matter of fact, he would have really helped the Dodgers in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, and
this year.
And the Dodgers are still looking for outfielders.
Of course, why not?
Why are you looking for outfielders?
Yeah, but man, 60 points in 29 minutes on, I think it was on 30 shots. It was pretty efficient.
Vicious.
I mean, Vichyssoise.
He was covered. He was just dropping it.
He just dropping it.
When you feel it like that, you know how it is when you feeling it. Yeah.
Feeling it. And the thing is, he can go to the rack.
Yeah.
He can bust you up from deep. He's got handles. The guy's jumper is just as wet as Steph Curry's. He just doesn't get the love for it because he doesn't do the razzle-dazzle with the passes and so on and so forth.
I just think that he's he's willing to play backseat to those guys.
He is. He's willing to be the team guy.
Yeah. And a lot of those guys, Steph Curry and whatnot, they want to take his shots. He's got to get his shots.
I don't think they want to take his shots. I don't get the feeling like that. I think they all have license to shoot, and I think personality-wise, he is fine with not necessarily being
deferring.
Yeah, I think he's fine as long as they win.
Right.
And what you saw in the playoffs last year is that when they went down 3-1 to the Thunder, that dude showed up.
Yeah, he showed up. He was the only one.
He was the only one, and he was the only one when it came time against the Cavs too.
Yeah,
that guy wanted to win, and he wants to win every night. Every night. How do you go from busting up the Clippers 2 times in a week to getting routed? I mean, crazy zooted. He got crazy zooted. What happened to the Pacers? Why is there so much inconsistency in the game of basketball, and why do the guys blame it on back-to-back games? They've
never played them before in their life.
That's mind-blowing to me. Everybody out there, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Look, man, I ain't gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You gotta tell him like a brother. And the thing is, you just flew 45 minutes up to the Bay from LA. you got ran. Now, granted, they can run you on any given night. It's not like
Right.
I'm just talking about the concept of the back-to-back game being devastating on guys.
I'm going to even go deeper than that.
Go subterranean
Well, you know what? On their off time, what do those guys do? They play, right?
and smoke weed.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like they're not going to play. They go to the Drew League.
They
Anywhere
play.
they can pick up a ball, they're going to play.
They're going to play with no cameras.
Exactly.
The guys are playing
Indoors
and,
or out.
And let me tell you something, man. In college, me and my friends played no less than 4 hours every day. If there was somebody to play against, we're finding you. We're going to the gym. We're going to the park. We're traveling. We're in leagues where whatever it is,
because
I have to come give it to you.
Yeah, I have to teach you a lesson.
And my knees are messed up now because of it, and I wouldn't change it because this is what you do when you're a competitor.
But back-to-back, though.
Yeah, back to back. You're 25 years old, and you're telling me that back to back is too much on wood, getting treatment of cryotherapy, massages, and PRP, Prolo, and everything else, and you're telling me that back to back is too much for you to play. I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
It's ridiculous, especially when you're being paid millions.
I mean, I wasn't being paid anything.
You were paid in damage to
I
your
was
knees.
paid in cartilage loss, and I signed my contract gladly. I signed on for an extension.
Would you resign?
I'd resign right now if they let me.
Nice.
They don't want me in the league anymore. I've already gotten too much damage. I ain't getting brain damage.
Yeah, I know you get knee
I
damage.
get knee damage. Yeah, man. Back-to-back nights. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, man. But, anyways, back to Klay Thompson. I mean, the kid was – I can't say enough about this effort. And what's amazing is that Twitter explodes talking about Kobe Bryant.
Why?
Because this is why I bring it up. Because everybody talked about how Kobe – put up 60 on 50 shots in that last game.
Ridiculous. Everybody know how I feel about that. That was terrible.
No, how do you feel? I've been wanting to ask you about how you felt.
Terrible.
About
Sad. So sad. Man, 50 shots? Are you kidding?
that. Yeah, but anyways, he was on 100-point pace. 29 minutes, dude. Are you kidding me?
He had to pose. He had to go Scotty and Mike on him. Sit down.
I had to sit down. This is embarrassing to you guys.
Put the towel over my head. I'm so ashamed.
And now he has that high score for that team. That's going to be interesting. Another thing that I thought was pretty ironic is that Monta Ellis was the one chasing him around. And the Warriors got rid of Monta Ellis, which is what opened up Klay Thompson's window to,
Unfortunately, Monta Ellis is a shell of himself.
What do you think happened to young
I
Monta?
have no idea.
He was unstoppable at one point.
Yeah, for probably a 3 or 4 year stretch, and then I don't know what happened. They got rid of him right on time.
Wow, this is what I say about that organization. They do a pretty good job of scouting that talent, of knowing who to go with and whatnot, because that's a skill unto itself.
Right, but do you think that was the coaching or the GM that saw it, or what?
I don't know who it is, but I know that whoever it is, they came to a collective agreement because this is before they got Steve Kerr.
Right.
I think Mark Jackson has a big role to play in this organization structure, even though he doesn't get any credit for it. Mark Jackson was the coach there when they were organizing, this powerhouse of a team in this style of basketball, and Steve Kerr kind of came and fine-tuned and perfected it. But that his fingerprints are all over that team, Mark Jackson.
So where do you think they go from here?
I mean, they go up. They just knocked off that 12-game winning streak. Now they just started another one. And my stats were wrong. It was 33 shots that he went. He went 21 for 33. I mean, this is really impressive because he only hit 8 threes. It's not like he hit
only hit 8 threes.
No. But what I'm saying is, it's not like it was 3-point heavy.
That's heavy.
No, I'm saying relative to as many threes. You got guys shooting 400 threes a season now.
That's heavy lifting, man.
Yeah, brother. This the jive turkey move, Jack. I'm laying it down with the anvil. But yeah, no, this is 21 for 33. That's so efficient. That is so wet.
That's wet. That's water wet.
That is just straight water. Wow. Wow. Klay Thompson, I tell you. If you could see it, my hat is off to you right now, my friend.
I don't think you were wearing one.
But it's off. That's why. I didn't wear it today. I said yesterday, I said,
I'll put mine on and take it off.
I'm going to wear a hat. And then I said, you know what? Today, I'm taking my hat off to Klay Thompson. There it is.
He's a stand-up guy.
I'm sorry. I had to do it, okay? I'm sorry. And so, Yeah, and so I mean, I thought that was pretty impressive. I think that now the Clippers have come back to earth, unfortunately.
As I thought that they would. I looked at my magic crystal ball and said, the Clippers will come back to play.
And they came back. Why did they go that route?
Classic Clippers.
How do you drop two? How do you go beat the Cavs? You have a pretty good road trip, except for you
They
blew
looked
it.
great against the Cavs, though.
And they looked terrible against the Nets, but
Yeah.
Blake didn't play, so you can give him a little bit of a pass.
No.
I mean, the Nets, you
The
still got to
Nets
beat
are
the
the worst
Nets.
team in the league.
The Dallas, I think, is the worst team in the
You
league.
think worse than Dallas?
I don't think the Nets are worse than Dallas. Dallas is just
The Nets have no.
a man. Yeah, I suited up.
Robin
for him the
Lopez,
other
I think.
night. I put on a mask. You thought I was somebody else. Yeah, it was a different jersey. But yeah, no. So they lost that game, but they looked good on the rest of the road trip. And then they get to Cleveland. They handle Cleveland. I mean, ran Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then you can't beat the Pacers without Paul George. And then you come home and the Pacers give you work at home. What is it a brain freeze?
They do this every single year.
Is it Doc Rivers? I mean, the
always-
late great Laker Quick always preached that Doc Rivers was overrated.
I'm right with him. I just don't think that, Doc seems like a great guy, but as far as taking you over the top with that basketball, it doesn't look like he can get it done.
You think he needs that crazy squad, that big three?
I mean, he has a crazy squad.
He's got a crazy squad.
Come on, man. You got the interior, the exterior,
Crazy shot blocking
Yeah.
ability. You protect the rim.
that crazy ball handler.
Crazy rebounding.
The buck stops with the coach.
Wow.
Mega bucks.
Mega millions.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't know, man. But I know that they went from being 14-2 to like 16-6 or something like
Nice.
that. And that's it. And they got Golden State coming in tomorrow night. And I don't think that's what you want to see.
You don't want to see that in your future.
Now,
I
you
think
don't
it
want
might
to
be
see that in
Durant's
your
time to
crystal
light you
ball.
up.
I think KD might want to light them up.
It's competition. Somebody puts up 60, somebody else got
Oh, man, that's what I'm saying. It's on for this year.
70. Come on.
Right. And they all have the green light. They all got
It's only one ball, though.
Yeah. But they share it so well.
Yeah, but then, you look at the score. The score was crazy at halftime, so these guys start sitting down and resting. So it's going to be hard for anybody to put up like big numbers like that again if you are not that efficient. That efficiency rate was through the roof.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, they had 80 points at halftime, dude. It was like an all-star game. It was like
Yeah,
an
right?
exhibition game.
It's terrible.
And the second team came in and balled.
Yeah, but what's up with the Pacers? How can you get ran like that? Usually back in the day, if you run somebody like that, somebody's got to get hurt.
Somebody's got to get hurt. I'm not getting ran by 100. I'm sorry. I'm
gotta go
sorry.
low.
I got to do it. I'm sorry.
I gotta go
I'm
low.
Sorry. I got to low bridge you. I got to play dirty. That's just how I play.
Yeah.
That's how I play. That's what Charles Barkley's talking about when he's talking about not playing that girly basketball. And what can you do? I wanted to cover that you are a big fan, and I just can't be more impressed. Is the Greek Freak.
Oh, man. Although I have a hard time pronouncing his name. Can you help me out?
No, but that's why we
Giannis.
just
I
go.
know Giannis.
Yeah,
We
we
just go
just
Greek
call the
Freak.
homie G.
The Greek Freak is one of the best players in the league.
He's one of the best players in the league.
I would take him, honestly, over Kevin Durant.
And the Bucks gives you problems on any given night. The Bucks can get you out of there.
And the only reason why the Bucks aren't better than what they should be is because of Jason Kidd. This is a classic example of a point guard running the team. He
What do
wasn't
you
running
think
like
they
he's
did?
playing.
And he's not playing.
And he's not playing anymore.
Ooh, they would be nice if he was playing.
You have Greg Monroe coming off the bench giving you 22 minutes. I need Greg Monroe to start. Greg Monroe is one of the most dominant big men in basketball, but he's coming off the bench. Why?
Wow. Now, what else do you think? Is it the offensive scheme? Do you think it's just personnel?
I just think that it's his coaching style that's holding him back. The big man is so underrated in this league nowadays, but he's still very, very effective.
He just can't.
There
The
is
game
no answer.
is designed for it's like somebody who has a moving fastball.
Yeah.
It's like somebody who has a moving fastball and a secondary pitch.
Yes.
There's no answer. I can't hit him. I got no answer. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's no answer. But Jason Kidd's coaching style, he'll take these kids, he'll put them back on the bench, and after you don't know who's going to play any given night except for the Greek Freak.
Right.
Jabari
He's
Parker's
giving you a
nice.
lot.
I mean, come on, dude. This starting lineup, I don't know the exact starting lineup night to night, but what they should do is to definitely get Greg Monroe in there consistently to bang the boards and dominate the middle. It'll change the game around. The Greek Freak is basically a point guard at 6'9", 6'10", just like the new modern era point guard. Which, by the way, you see the Lakers are starting to incorporate Brandon Ingram doing that.
That kid has a lot of potential. I'm not saying anything that nobody already doesn't know.
Right.
But that kid
can go.
He can go. The Lakers can go, man. The Lakers are
on any given night.
On any given night, they're just a one piece away. What you're not going to do is just run the Lakers out of the building.
But that's Luke Walton, though. That's Luke Walton, because he came in and he's doing his thing now.
Yeah. He is doing his thing. You know who else is doing their thing?
Oh.
Anybody that signed up for the 5-4 Club. Man, oh man. If you want to look good this winter, maybe you want to give out a nice gift for Christmas and make it year-long, sign up your boyfriend or yourself for the 5-4 Club. Head over to 54club.com, use promo code OMAR. Find out what you've been missing to have personally stylized closet full of clothes. You need this, trust us. I'm wearing 5-4 right now, and I feel good. Confidence abounds, folks. 5-4 Club. Get with it. Moving on. It's time to talk about one of my favorite topics.
Which is?
The Raiders!
Oh, my goodness. Why? Let's just call them 30. Let's just call them 30-pointers.
The sweet nectar of 10-2.
You know what makes it even better is that when they be able to watch you guys, the look on your face the first time they play the playoff games and they get handled. They're going to get handled Thursday, by the way.
They might get handled Thursday. They always lose to the Chiefs in Kansas City, but they might not.
They lost to the Chiefs at home.
That's okay. The Chiefs should have lost themselves on Sunday, so I don't want to hear that nonsense.
But they didn't.
Neither have the Raiders.
No.
What's the Chiefs' record?
Oh, they're playing for first place, by the way.
Yeah, but who's in first place now?
Only for a few more days.
Let's see what
few more days.
A special caller has to say about it.
Hey, good afternoon to the OZone.
Trucker Dave, sounds like we caught you live and in the cab. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling jazzy.
Oh, man, we're feeling good. We wanted to call and get your football expertise. We just started our football segment, and I just wanted to start off with the glorious Oakland Raiders sitting atop the league at first place at 10-2. David Carr and his miraculous right arm made another stunning comeback. I mean, you got a sorry receiver like Crab that's out there balling, even though he dropped an easy touchdown. Amari Cooper got some. Khalil Mack was out there running, just acting a fool. I have to say, the defense leaves us something to be desired because they just seem to have like mental lapses at times. But that offense is real. What's your take on the Raiders right now?
Well, you know what? I watched that game. It was a great game.
A great game.
Buffalo surprised me because they had a lead. It seemed like what it started to change is when LaShawn McCoy looked like he hurt his hamstring or something. Like when he went out.
Yes. They had no answer for LaShawn McCoy.
Nobody
didn't have an answer for him. They didn't have. He was so shifty,
Shady.
getting to the ball, keeping the getting so many first downs, and then it just seems like the Raiders just picked up momentum in about 3 seconds, and they just took off running.
Yeah. That was it. There was a momentum change. They got one stop on defense with when Shady was trying to cut loose, and they got 1 3-and-out, I do believe, and Derek Carr just turned it on. He started marching. Latavius started getting busy. And I like Latavius' work on Sunday because he gave you some nice power back work. It was like there's different ways. Everybody who watches football knows there's different ways that running backs can dominate a game. Some guys dominate a game like Shady McCoy. Mm-hmm. They're pretty to watch and they're effective. But then you have certain guys that are power backs, like your man Le'Veon Bell, or guys like Latavius Murray, guys who are, when they get going, you just get this feeling when you watch the game like, wow, there's no answer for this dude. We can't stop him. And that's what happened, and that opened up the aerial attack. And, man, you open up the aerial attack for Derek Carr, that kid's got ice water in his veins, man. Wow. 24-9, and you come back? That's a serious comeback.
It's over on Thursday.
Yeah, it's over.
Is that a terrorist threat? What?
As great as, Derek Carr has been, and he has got a good chance on winning the MVP. In my opinion, I watched the Kansas City Chiefs against Atlanta, and I think they're the most complete team in football. I know Dallas is getting the recognition. Look at them on defense. They get Jeremy Maclin back on Thursday night. They're getting D Ford back. He's got 10 sacks. You got Tom Ali. You got Houston. Man, it's just got. You got stars everywhere, and believe it or not, Alex Smith is starting not to play like Alex Smith. And
He's playing like Alex Smith that 1 year played in the 49ers. Yeah, before he got hurt.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. I think the Kansas City Chiefs have about a 70% chance. It wouldn't surprise me if coming out of the AFC.
Wouldn't surprise me either, to be honest. I hate to say that, but the Kansas City Chiefs, you know what I'm counting on is for Andy Reid to find a way to blow a good
it's
team.
It's highly possible.
Andy Reid has that unique ability to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. He has a special talent where he just, for some reason, knows how to blow a game. And I agree, their team is remarkable, even though the Falcons should have beat them.
Yeah, they should have.
But they executed, though. They did what they were supposed to do.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
but the Falcons did not do what they were supposed to do.
Which is kick
They
the
did.
second
Yeah,
point.
that's what I was gonna say. It wasn't as much as they beat the Falcons as the Falcons beat themselves, which is a refrain that I found myself saying in the Matt Ryan era that really bothers me. I say it far too often.
Yeah, but it's not even a Matt Ryan problem at that point. When you got the ball down there and you have Devonta Freeman who's running all over him, give him the ball. Why are you passing?
You're right. You need to take the ball out of his hands because what Matt Ryan has shown you over the years is that he shrinks in big games.
It's the moment the lights are too bright for Matt Ryan. There's no two ways about it. We've seen it time and time again, whether it's fumbling a snap or just throwing a pick to somebody that is obviously not on his team. Every time he falls apart. You just watch it. That's why I'm so angry, because that 1 year, Russell Wilson's rookie year, was a year that Seahawks really should have won that Super Bowl if they would have beat them. And Pete Carroll mismanaged the clock that game. If you remember that playoff game, they went down there and they beat the Falcons down there in the dome, and then they tricked the game off. They had them beat, then they tricked the game off.
They sure did, man. And Matty Ice, they got to take that nickname away from him because he's not Matty Ice.
He's not ice cold. He's not.
And
he's Matty lukewarm.
Like Pete said, you got to take that and put the ball. I mean, everybody knows about football. They always say put the ball in your best player's head. Unfortunately, it's not Matty Ice. So
it's just not Matty Ice. It's just not him. And I don't even think that's unfortunate. I just feel like if they would acknowledge it, they could actually be their best version of the Falcons. But they refuse to acknowledge that he's not their best player, and they're trying to force the issue like he is, and it's not. He's just not.
Well, he's still young, though, and he's putting up big numbers this year. So.
He puts up big numbers every year. He might throw for 500 yards. I would say every season, at least one game, he throws for 400 yards every season.
Well, you got Julio Jones out there. Come on, dude.
Well, Julio Jones is, he's got the turf toe problem.
Yeah, and they're trying to downplay that like it's not as big of a deal as it is.
Yeah, he still gave you 110 yards? I mean, that dude is a beast, man. But, we always make these comparisons between him and Antonio Brown. I have to agree with T and say, you know what, I would take him over Antonio Brown. But remember this, Antonio Brown is leading the league in touchdown receptions, leading the league in catches. His yardage is down, but you got to look at Le'Veon Bell came back. So that takes some away from his productivity when you're looking at those two guys saying who's the best. A lot of guys believe that Beckham's the best. Beckham has got burst of speed that's unbelievable, but he's got this crybaby thing to him that I don't understand, man. It's about the team. It's not about you. And that's the same problem that they're having with Cam Newton, because Cam keeps on making it about him when it's about the team. It's too much about his passion, too much about all of this other stuff that's not football. Lead the team and get rid of the ball. Stop holding on to the ball because you got a great arm and you're holding on to the ball to the last second. Bam, here comes that strip sack. That's the same thing that happened to Taylor against the Raiders.
Well, okay, I'll address the topic by topic. I agree with what you're saying, and then I disagree. First and foremost, business is booming. You just made my own argument because Antonio Brown is the best in the business. I don't care what anybody says. No. Julio Jones is great. There's a lot of guys that are great. When it comes down to game time, you want the ball going towards Antonio Brown because business is booming. And that dude is leading the league despite the fact that he's got a dominant running back. And he's despite the fact that he deals with double coverage and he's always the focus of the defense.
Julio Jones.
Whatever, man. This is I'm trying to tell you that when you look at the consistency of him, Antonio Brown gets the job done. I'm not knocking Julio Jones. I'm just saying that if I have to choose, Antonio Brown is my guy. And he's running back punts. And so the guy's got a lot of work for you. As far as Cam goes, I think what we're seeing there with Cam Newton is we're seeing the superstar make an undercover protest for the fact that he doesn't have the support of the league when it came to getting all of these late hits, and nobody spoke out on it on his team, including his coach. He had to speak out on it himself as the MVP of the league. And then also I think it's a silent protest, not a silent protest, but an undercover protest of the fact that they traded certain guys, they didn't shore up the offensive line, and now the team went from being what looked like was unbeatable last year to being a very mediocre team at best now. And I think that he doesn't necessarily know how to handle it in another way besides this kind of this attention-seeking way. I think, it's a cry for help in a certain way. I don't think it's the right thing to do, but I think that you're seeing the deconstruction of Cam Newton right now, which is going to lead to the league paying next year. That's what I think. I think Cam Newton is going to come back and be Cam Newton next year, and it's going to be hell to pay. He's going to punish people.
Well, first you got to give him an offensive line. You have to give him a couple more receivers. You got Ted drop it again out there. You got Calvin. You got Benjamin, who's not getting separation at this point, probably still not completely recovered from his injury, and you have a mediocre running back in Jonathan Stewart. You have an above-average tight end. And that's what he has. He's never really had a complete team around him.
And
even
Greg
last
Olsen
year,
dropped that big pass against the Raiders that would have beat the Raiders. To be honest,
You know what they should do? They should go and draft that running back out of LSU.
yeah,
And within the first 10 picks, and then you show up your line also, and then you build it from there. I think you need to get rid of Ron Rivera, man. I mean, Ron Rivera, he's fool's gold, man. I mean, I don't believe in Ron Rivera. You can look at his face on the sideline. He's looking like he's going to crack at any minute. But I will give a pass to Andy Reid. I think that Andy Reid can get his stuff together, man. I don't even think Andy Reid can blow it this year. I mean, I can't see the Raiders beating them. It's hard for me to see. If you watch football, the way that Kansas City and Dallas are playing, those two teams are playing the best football right now. Everybody said Dallas is suspect on defense. Yeah, but you can be suspect on defense when you're not on the field that long. You see, I think it's like 5 yards. I mean, what is Zeke averaging? Like 6.2 yards a carry? Something ridiculous, man. I mean, it's unbelievable what Dallas is doing, and they're controlling the line of scrimmage. They're controlling the clock. And even with the rookie, they got a chance to go to the show.
You can't get to the rookie because the line is so fabulous.
I feel like that the Falcons can beat them. I still stand by that because they're basically neither one of them have defense, and it's going to be a shootout, and I have to go with the team who has the most offense, and the Falcons have the most offense.
Until Matt Ryan decides that he's going to throw a pick.
He's going to throw a pick, but it doesn't matter. So is Dak, because you're going to put him in a situation where he's going to be one-dimensional.
I don't believe it. I'm rocking with the Cowboys in that game. I just don't believe in the Falcons. But I understand what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I think it's completely valid. I just don't believe. And truth be told, I don't think either one of them teams want to see Seattle.
Yeah. Well, Earl Thomas got hurt. That's big.
That's huge.
It's huge.
That's huge. But, Russell will find a way to get when it's time for the lights to come on. They're going to be
the lights are never too bright for that young man.
They're never too bright, but they are too bright for Matt Ryan. I'm sorry to say that. History has shown us that he's not Matty Ice. I don't know who he is.
Yeah. No, but I want to know something. I want to get your take on these New England Patriots because speaking of big losses, I don't see how you win. I don't see how you get all the way through the playoffs without Rob Gronkowski.
I don't know if it's to me, a Rob Gronkowski thing. Because let me let you in on this. On Sunday, they brought out the 2001 team that won with a bunch of no-names. And if anybody can win with a bunch of no-names, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady can win with a bunch of no-names, but the problem with them is they don't have anything on defense. You can't get a pass rush. You're on the offense. What I would do, I would trick everybody if I were them. I would just get into the playoffs, and I would just run the Garrett Blunt like 30 times. Show me that you can stop them. Then I'll go with play action pass. That right there might get you out of the AFC because then you can shorten the game. People are looking at LeGarrette Blount is almost at 1,000 yards right now. So in New England, that's equivalent to like 2,000 yards. They never have a 1,000-yard running back. I mean, so he's going to finish with about 12 or 1,300 yards. He's leading the league, or even over Ezekiel Elliott with his offensive line.
Yeah.
He's got one more touchdown than him. So I would just completely switch and just go with a power running game, open up play action pass, hit Bennett, hit Edelman, and just do it like that. And you would have a better chance of putting all that pressure on Tom Brady and their defense, which is suspect.
Well, another thing about New England as well is that they won without Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady when Tom Brady was suspended.
Yeah, but that's not the playoffs.
But in the playoffs, I would lean on LeGarrette Blount. Show me that you can stop him. And then I got Deion Lewis coming out of the backfield. So we lost Gronk. We do got Bennett, and we do got Deion Lewis. They never really had that when they lost Gronk before.
And James White.
That's kind of a substitute. So I would just go with a heavy running game if I were them, because you're suspect on defense.
Very suspect on defense, and the offense. I mean, when you watch the big games, you see Brady go to Gronk, and it's just like poetry in motion. These two dudes, and I think that's a very big loss because he requires so much attention from the defense.
I honestly feel like he should retire.
He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, what is this? His second back surgery?
We lose. There you go. Oh, we thought we lost you for a sec. What'd you say now?
I said he told Adam Schefter that retirement is not in the plan. Football players, just like baseball players, would really play for free if they could. So
everybody except for basketball players who act like it's a real problem to play on back-to-back nights despite crazy salaries.
Oh, I know, man, because you know what? They got a family to feed. They make it work.
Can't feed him with $20 million a month.
Oh, man.
A month, man. So bananas. Unbelievable, man. Sports, you got to love it.
Gotta love it. Well, Trucker Dave, we love you, and we love that you're out and about. Where are you in this great country of America right now?
I'm crossing between Texas and Louisiana.
Okay, you are out there doing it.
Right.
What are you on, I-10?
I'm on I-10 going east, and the weather's clear. Just came from North Dakota. Ooh. Don't want to talk about it anymore.
I bet. I hope you got your gloves, Trucker Dave. Thank you. Be careful out there on the roads, and thank you for representing the United States of America.
There you go.
Peace. Be safe. Julio Jones, 1,253 receiving yards.
Monster.
5 touchdowns. That's the only where Antonio Brown has him. That's the place where he's got him.
And that's a big place.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that it's leaps and bounds. I'm just saying that I'll take.
Come over to the Julio Jones.
I can't do.
Let Julio get the stretch.
I can't
Julio,
get the stretch. Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. Yeah, man. No, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, we're moving on. Got a lot to talk about with the hot stove of Major League Baseball.
Man.
Do you see what is going down right now in Beantown?
Can you believe that?
They aren't messing around in Boston, man.
They're trying to tighten it up and get back there and get them another ring.
They want to get back. The breaking news is that Chris Sale is going to Boston. Chris Sale, for people who don't know, is one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball over the past 5 years. I mean, top 5.
Definitely in the American League. He's the most dominant in the American League in the last 5 years.
I agree. I don't know who's more dominant than him.
The
in the American League.
Yeah.
Truth be told, if he was in the National League, I think that he would rival Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
I really believe that. It'd be pretty close. Because he gives you 30 starts a year, 25, 30 starts a year.
The only problem that he would have is that he couldn't hold runners. And you run in the National League.
You know what, though? Relatively, nobody runs. It's not. You got to get on base to run. And that dude is giving up. Chris Sale's giving you 8 or 9 almost every outing. And he's only given up 2 runs pretty much. 2 or 3 runs
his
max.
ERA is, I think, the past 5 years is 3.05. So
that's incredible because he just came up. You know what I mean? Like he came up dealing.
Yeah.
And he strikes guys out.
Yeah, but being in the Kershaw level he's all.
That's
the Twilight Zone, dude.
It is. But at the same time, Chris Sale's numbers indicate that he has that kind of. He has that kind of potential. Love Chris Sale. Yeah, he's a big deal. And what this is saying from the Boston Red Sox and Dave Dombrowski is they're saying, you know what? We had a crazy season last season, a great season, great farewell season for David Ortiz. And when we got to the playoffs, we did not have one stopper. We didn't have one playoff pitcher that we would say, even though Rick Porcello won the Cy Young, we didn't have one dude that we could say, you know what, this guy is going to shut the door and we're going to win this game on his back. They didn't have one guy for that.
No.
Not David Price, not Rick Porcello, not anybody else that I can't remember. Who else were their starters? David Price, Rick Porcello,
Clay Buchholz.
Clay Buchholz fell. I was really surprised because he had pitched well, and then he gave you the Clay Buchholz.
It's a classic. Everybody
Classic
falls
Clay.
back into their patterns. I mean,
That's what the
you
beauty of the long baseball season is.
Yeah, you
is
can't
that
be-
you're gonna do your numbers.
Yeah, you're going to do your numbers. You can't be
It's an
disappointed in
average. Yeah,
Rick Porcello played over his head, which was nice, but he really didn't
20
play.
game winner.
Yeah, and he's young. He was young when Detroit brought him up.
yeah.
I think he was
And
19,
and I
maybe
think
20.
I think he's gonna be dominant for a good stretch. Now.
Yeah, he should be.
But now you're talking about him. You got Chris Sale. They're showing pictures of a very lean Pablo Sandoval. By the way,
Yeah, because he didn't want to eat himself out the league.
he ate
figured-
himself out of 1 year.
Yeah.
and now he's looks like he's ready to start being the starting third baseman because they also picked up Thornburg from the Milwaukee Brewers for Travis Shaw, which lets everybody know, hey, we're planning on starting Pablo Sandoval at third base.
Right, especially since they got rid of that kid in the trade.
They got rid of
Moncada.
Shaw and Moncada.
Yeah, Moncada.
And that's a big deal because for a long time, Moncada was like the untouchable prospect.
Right, and Shaw was keeping it warm for Moncada.
Yeah. And instead, they were all keeping it warm for Kung Fu Panda.
Right. He's a big-time player.
Oh, man.
I mean, if you can get his mind right.
If you get Panda's mind right, as he showed for the San Francisco Giants, he can get you ringed up.
But what about the White Sox? What does that show us about the White Sox?
Exactly what it's always shown us about the White Sox, that they're losers.
And that they need to get rid of Kenny Williams, huh?
And Robin Ventura,
Yeah.
who I think retired, didn't he? Or did he step down?
I think he stepped down.
Yeah, he realized what time it was.
He was over his head.
Yeah, and I mean, I had a feeling Chris Sale was going to leave at the beginning of the season when everything broke out about that jersey situation. He was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, man, my jersey isn't comfortable, and
Well,
I don't
that
want
was
to
for
wear
that
this
throwback
jersey."
game. That wasn't. I felt like that with Adam LaRoche, and then
Adam Roach's son when he retired.
and then it snowballed into something else with him and Kenny Williams got into something else, and
Yeah.
then it turned into the
jersey thing. Yeah,
So if Clayton Kershaw came out and said, "Hey, you know what?
I don't like the
I don't
throwback
like
jersey."
yeah,
Guess what? The Dodgers won't wear.
They won't wear the throwback jersey.
At least not on the day that he pitches.
Yeah, they'll come out with something else,
Yeah, they'll have a future jersey. It'll be a tank top.
and that just turns into a pissing contest. You know,
Yeah.
it's basically a power struggle
And now he's in Boston,
where he's going to have the power.
and he has the power in his left arm, which is why
Yes.
he's in Boston.
Yes.
And I don't get the feeling that Chris Sale's a guy that just needs to flex his power. I don't get the feeling
No.
that that was that was his intent.
No. I just think that a guy like Kenny Williams doesn't want to give in to any of the players. He wants to,
I don't know if he's still the GM or if he moved up now.
hopefully he moved out. You're talking about, because at one point that I just read the other day that they're talking about trading Darrielle. You can't get rid of Abreu. Talking about trading him to the Rockies.
And did
Which
Todd
he will
Frazier go yet? Because they were talking about Todd Frazier getting out of there too.
Well, the Dodgers are trying to get Todd Frazier.
Down goes Frazier.
Yeah. Trying to get Todd Frazier. Then the Dodgers are trying to make some moves. They just re-signed your boy Rich Hill.
Yeah. Now, what do you feel about that?
I mean, I really don't believe in Rich Hill like that. I felt like
that's a big contract.
yeah, he's nice, but you have a bunch of young kids that you still can bring up and give an opportunity. You see that the whole league is going to a youth movement.
And they're going lefty dominant old movement.
Yes.
But I got to get. I really hope Urias is in the starting rotation come spring training.
Yeah.
I need Urias up there, but then that puts you in a position where you got 3 starting lefties.
Yeah, I need Jose De Leon to start,
Yeah,
and he has the potential to be a stud.
sure does.
But I mean, what can you say? I'm sorry.
I have to do it. I have to do
I
it.
have to sign Rich Hill.
Rich Hill for $48 million.
Wow,
That is a lot of money for 1 year.
some serious cheddar right there.
That is some serious cheese. Wow, unbelievable. Back to the Red Sox, you saw Big Papi sent his full endorsement to Edwin Encarnacion, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah,
I think this is what veteran guys should do. You know?
but they're acting like they're not that serious about Edwin, though.
No, they are. They're playing coy. But and maybe that's because they like what they see in Pablo Sandoval. But you got to replace David Ortiz, and that is big shoes to replace. Those are some big shoes.
Yeah, and you can't replace a guy like that.
No, you can't replace him. It's not like
Although Edwin Encarnacion won't be that far off.
Edwin Encarnacion's numbers are bonkers.
You just have to see if he can do it in the clutch.
which he's shown you he has. Why do you think he can't do it in the clutch?
Because you're being Beantown. You're not in Toronto anymore.
I don't know, man. I think that what he has translates. I think that when you play clutch in the playoffs, because he played long ball in the playoffs for the last couple years, he's not playing around. And he plays the game every day. He's not like not any knock on him, but he's not like Joey Bats. Joey Bats a little bit older, and he's not playing all the time. He gets hurt. This dude is playing every day.
Well, some of these guys, but the money that they're asking is so far off. I mean, look at Bryce Harper.
Look at Bryce Harper.
$400 million.
And now, do you think that that's a real number? Do you think that somebody just lobbed that out there to cause confusion?
I think that's something that Bryce Harper probably threw around himself because he
do
really
you think it's Scott Boras who threw it around?
Well, he probably spoke to Bryce Harper and decided to throw around because Bryce Harper really feels himself.
Yeah, and if you look at his numbers,
last year was terrible, but overall,
he's not worth $400 million. I need somebody to get a $400 million. Let me tell you guys that I would pay still even now. Excuse me, that I would pay before I paid Bryce Harper.
Who are they?
I have to pay Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, you gotta give it to Miguel.
I have to give Miguel Cabrera his dough. Give me my dough. He needs his money, man. And I would not pay Albert Pujols again.
You sure? He's only 25.
Yeah, okay. That's what the birth certificate says. Truth be told, I would pay Edwin Encarnacion for 4 years before I paid Bryce Harper for 10 years.
Yeah. These long-term contracts don't work out the right way.
$40 million a year is what Bryce Harper's looking for, even though
it's not that far-fetched.
It's all relative.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about Clayton Kershaw, who obviously is the best pitcher of the generation, getting 32 a year to play every 5 days.
Right.
Bryce Harper is going to play every day. But let me tell you who the number one guy, Randy Piper, that I would pay over paying him.
Who?
Manny Machado.
Yes.
Because I'm
Nolan
not
Arenado.
And maybe even over Manny Machado, realistically.
Right.
Nolan Arenado's numbers are crazy, and not just like Colorado crazy.
Right.
And also his build is crazy. Like, he's a stud.
Yes.
That guy is a
And
horse.
he's crazy young.
Yeah.
Just like Harper.
Yes. I'm all for it. I think that with the new CBA, there's a lot of great stuff that's happening, and it seems like it's more leaning towards how basketball is with like a revenue sharing league. But at the same time, what happens when a guy signs that deal and gets hurt, can't perform? Come on, man.
A la Josh Hamilton.
Come on, $400 million. You have to really.
But he's so young. I mean, honestly, it sounds crazy, but he's probably worth it.
Well,
at this
relative,
point,
because you know why? In 10 years, that 400 won't seem crazy.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
Exactly.
And somebody will pay him.
Probably
somebody's
the
going to pay him. The Yankees have the dough to pay him, and he will act a fool in Yankee Stadium.
Yes, and he will fill the seats.
He will fill the seats.
I mean,
in them pinstripes.
Yeah,
but he will have to shave.
Ooh,
exactly.
I don't know. The Yankees change. They make
the Yankees
adjustments.
Don't change. What are you talking about? The Yankees don't change.
We're talking 10 years from now, maybe.
Doesn't matter.
You don't think
100 years of tradition. Doesn't matter. I sure hope Dexter Fowler gets his dough, man. Because that's somebody who does deserve to get paid.
Showed up big time.
What? Leadoff bomb? Game 7 of the World Series?
Yeah.
It doesn't get bigger than that. Dead center too? That's a statement bomb. That's a Derek Jeter type move.
Like, we're here.
We're here.
And I'm real.
I'm here to play Game 7.
And I'm real.
I'm real. I don't even know what the rest of the dude's going to do.
But I'm
what
real.
I can tell you is I'm here. You don't want to see me. That was, and then played some crazy defense.
That's what you do.
Big time ball player.
That's what you do.
Man,
you show up.
You show up. That's why he's there. And the thing is, he would do that for free. He would do that if he was playing on Sunday.
He's got respect for his
and
game.
Saturday. Just got respect for himself and his game and the game.
Yeah, but
for the game.
Now, where is he as far as getting his cheese?
I don't know. He's got a lot of interest. It just doesn't seem like anybody wants to pull the trigger.
This is terrible.
It's still early, though. It's still early in the winter meetings.
For me, I got to snap up a guy like him ASAP.
I can't play around.
No,
I need
you're
Dexter
talking about
on
being solid up the middle.
Yeah, and I need him on my roster.
He's a proven product. He's got a ring now, and he performed in a big-time situation, not just in the World Series, but in Game 7 of the World Series.
He performed to get you to Game 7.
Yeah.
He beat Clayton Kershaw almost single-handedly in that Game 5 or whatever. Was that Game 5 or Game 7 of that series? Game 7 was Game 5.
Game 5.
Game 6. Game 6. It was back in Wrigley.
Yeah, it sure was.
Game 6. Yeah, and he, what do you want from Dexter Fowler? He can't show you anymore. He literally showed his ass.
He went butt ass.
What you want him to do? He balled out.
Cover up.
Cover up there, Dexter. That's all. You're an animal. Yeah, and then I like what Aroldis Chapman said, because that's who it's heating up for. And I also like the fact that the San Francisco Giants are actually interested in their bullpen.
You can knot them up, man. They're ready to go.
They are ready to go. Melanson shuts the door.
You're talking about an above-average closer, and they haven't had a closer in, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, and their team was together other than the bullpen.
They would have went to the World Series.
If they had Melanson, they go to the World Series this year.
Yeah.
Johnny Cueto, Mad Bum, Mike Moore, and Melanson.
And they're talking about trying to get Kutch.
This is the guy that nobody talks about that will change every team that he can go to.
Yeah, he had a bad year last year, and they're acting like he's too old.
And I think that actually this is maybe what's messing up Dexter Fowler's situation, because the GMs in baseball actually are very sharp.
Yes.
And they know that they're looking for a discount on Kutch right now.
Right.
Who doesn't want to give up a discount, as he shouldn't. Because Kutch Shady was the best player in the game.
But he's not a free agent, though. This is the thing. And what they're
it's a trade, right?
And what Pittsburgh is trying to do is to get a plethora of young talent for him. And I don't blame him. Yeah. Because he had one bad year, but that guy is a 5-tool player. They don't grow on trees.
5-tooler.
They don't grow on trees. So you're going to get an above-average center fielder, a guy who can hit for average and hit for power. You're talking about
you can put him anywhere in the lineup.
He would help out Bryce Harper so much just by being in that lineup, because they would have a right-handed power hitter that they need to back him up, because he's shown that he can't produce by himself.
He'd help Zimmerman. He'd help Howard.
Murphy.
Yeah. Harper, sorry, not Howard.
Yeah.
He definitely, Daniel Murphy can produce. Daniel Murphy showed he can produce no matter guy can reproduce.
Exactly, man. He's replenished the earth.
He's gone forth and been fruitful. He multiplies. Yeah. Yeah, no. That Nationals, I'm really surprised, because the way that it all sounded like was that Chris Sale was going to go to the Nationals.
Right.
And I'm surprised that it didn't shake out that way.
And now the Nationals are probably going to get Kutch, because that's the whole thing, was that they were trying to get Sale over Kutch. They couldn't get both. They were trying to play it.
Because of the trade element of what they had to give up.
Right.
Man, those winter meetings are probably going down.
Hot stove.
It's a hot out there in Arizona. Wow. Dude, where are they? Gilbert? Freaking Chandler? What's going on?
It's hot wherever they are.
Ah, man, baseball. We're only a few months away. I'm so excited. Man, yeah. And so they're talking about Chapman. What I like about what they're saying about Chapman is, what I like that Chapman said is, he said, they're talking this $100 million number. I never said that. I just said I want a 6-year deal. I think that when a guy deserves something, he doesn't have to demand it.
Wow.
And
that's a nice quote.
It is a nice quote. This could end the ozone, this guy. He could be Confucius.
Yes.
Because realistically, he does deserve his dough. What else do you want from him?
Yeah.
Except for to not walk guys.
And quit throwing breaking balls.
Yeah, throw your cheese, man. But I can't say nothing. He shut my mouth because he got his ring. And he was the key reason, down 3-1, that they came back.
Yeah.
And he bit the bullet. He did not give you the NBA. He did not care about playing back-to-back nights. He was A-okay with that.
You recognize that all the pitchers, they were all on board with coming back night after night. I mean, come on, man. My arm hurts way more than you running down back and forth on that court.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
I don't know. That depends on how bad your knees are. But, Jake Arrieta straight said after Game 6, I'm ready. I'm ready tomorrow. He said after, I think it was 5 or 6, he was like, it's Game 7.
John Lester, too.
Yeah, I'm ready tomorrow. I'm ready to go. Yeah, man, the game is unbelievable. The game don't wait. Well, you got anything else to sum up here on this lively edition of the Ozone?
What about your boy Jeff Fisher?
Oh, side note. What about back to baseball? What about something that I know that should make you happy is that they're saying the All-Star game no longer
That's beautiful.
Is going to determine the World Series home field advantage.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it almost cost the Cubbies.
It almost cost the Cubbies, especially since they wanted to fill the team up with their players.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should have never been on the table.
And it is what it is.
Yeah, but this thing with Jeff Fisher is ridiculous.
With Eric Dickerson?
Not just Eric Dickerson. They just gave him a new contract.
The extension?
Why are they doing this to L.A.? What did L.A. do to deserve this? This is not cool.
Well, they're going to find out, because what L.A. is not going to do is keep coming out to support a loser. Yeah. And next thing you know, the games are going to be blacklisted on
You're not going to get 100,000 people go out there and sit and watch.
Blacklisted. The games are communist.
A little McCarthyism going on there, Bob.
Yeah. No. Sorry. The games will be blacked out. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
You're not going to get 100,000 people in there to go and support a loser. I mean,
you're just not in the City of Angels. We got too much to do.
They're not prepared. They go everywhere. Every game that they play, they don't look prepared. The kid doesn't look bad. He's not getting any help. The receivers are dropping passes. There's a lot of penalties. Defense doesn't even look good. And Jeff Fisher is not a team player because if he was, he would step down.
It's all him.
It is him.
I don't know about him stepping down, but he's got to do something to unify the team because at this point, again, it's all about him and it's not about any sort of unification.
It is.
It's an ego thing.
But it's him, though, because what is he, 5 games away from being the losingest coach in history?
Really?
Yes, it's something crazy. It's ridiculous. Wow. And the Rams, let's sign him up. Come on, dude. Be for real.
Wow. And geez, going back to the NFL, the thing that I do want to cover is this terrible shooting of Joe McKnight down in Louisiana. Terrible. I mean, the details seem a little bit murky. The eyewitnesses have come out and made it pretty clear that it seemed like this man, Robert Glasser, seemed like there was a road rage incident, and then he busted off and killed the young man. And now I think due to public outrage, they finally arrested him, and he's actually in jail now. And he actually, it was kind of crazy.
He has priors of, doing the same thing in the same intersection. Well, not the same thing, but he got in a fist fight, I guess.
Yeah, but
he's one of the dudes that cut everybody off and then
flips people off.
And I'm sure, the kid, is aggressive, gets out the car and just wants to put him back in check, and the dude just lets him off.
Come on, man.
And that's a carry state, so.
Yeah. It's just got to stop. It's just got to stop. We're all of the same race, people, the human race. And if we don't see it, we're never, ever going to be able to move forward and live in any kind of harmony. I mean, I know absolute harmony in a Zen-like place is a far-fetched idea, but common respect is something that we can all give one another. The idea that someone will lose their life behind getting cut off in traffic or, this is the second time we've seen this now this year for notable people from the NFL. Mm-hmm. Who knows how many times it's happened just from regular Joes, because you don't hear about that on the news as much. But this is the second time you saw Big Will Smith got checked out behind something like this.
Yep.
With a situation where there was some alcohol involved and some weapons involved, and now you're looking at this brother Joe McKnight. Man, this is it's just unnecessary. Is the thing, this isn't something that you have to do. Sometimes you do need to be the bigger person, and I'm not always the bigger person myself. Because I get indulged in some road rage from time to time.
I don't know, dude. You are 6'6".
I'm usually the bigger person, unless I run into Shaquille. Then he's the bigger person. But by and large, this is just we got to do better. We have to do better. We have to demand better of each other, and the only way that we can demand better of each other is to demand better of ourselves. Again, folks, we'd like to hear from you. If you have your own take on some of the things that we say or some hot topics in sports, give us a call. It's 424-254-9663. That's 424-254-ZONE. That's it. And with that, I want to leave you guys with a lovely quote that is pretty relevant. And it is, if you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow. I'm your host, Omar Miller, folks. This has been a lovely edition of The Ozone.